Yeah, good morning, students. In the last class, we have seen projectile motion, and we proved that the path of the projectile is parabola, or the trajectory of the projectile is parabola. In that, we have seen main equations. The equations which we have seen: y is equal to x tan theta minus x square by 2g u square cos square theta. Okay. Next, h height equation we have seen u square sin square theta by 2g, and next range equation r is equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. Next, time of ascent and time of descent u sin theta by g. Next, total time of flight t is equal to 2u sin theta by g. Okay, in projectile motion we have seen these four equations clear, and here we have seen special condition: if theta is equal to 45, then range is max, then this is u square by 2g. Clear? This is a special condition, and this is u square by g, right? These equations we have seen. Okay. Now we will try problems on these formulas. Example problem. Example problem 4.9. A cricket ball is thrown at a speed of 28 meter per second in a direction 30 degree above the horizontal. Calculate maximum height, time taken by the ball to return to the same level, the distance from the thrower to the point where the ball returns to the same level. Okay, this is a 4.9. Cricket ball is thrown with the velocity u is equal to 28 meter per second. Next, direction with the horizontal theta is equal to 30 degree. Next, calculate the maximum height. They are asking height raised, h max. Next, h max is question mark. Next, time taken by the ball to return the same level, means total time of flight, t. And then next, the distance from the thrower to the point where the ball returns to the same level. They are asking r, range. Clear? So, cricketer throw the ball like this. He throws with a velocity u with an angle 30 degree. This u value given. What is this question? What did they ask in the time taken by the ball to return the same level? Means point of projection is this. Reaching the ground is here. Here ball is hitting the ground. This position are at same level. Next, for the range, what did they ask? The distance from the thrower to the point where the ball returns to the same level. So this is the point of projection level. This is a point where the ball is hitting the ground. This level and this level both are same. Okay. Now first question is what? H max. H max formula or maximum height formula is what? U square sin square theta by 2g. Now substitute the values. U square is what? 28 into 28 into sin square theta. Sin square 30 by 2. G did not give. What do we take? So if they did not mention, so G take it as 9.8 meter per second square. So 9.8 meter not required in the substitutions. In substitution don't write units. And this is 28 into sin 30. Sin 30 1 by 2 square is there. 1 into 1 by 2 into 9.8 into 2 into 2. 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 square, sin square 30. Clear? Simplify, you will get the answer. This answer will be okay, 2 ones 14, 2 ones 14. Clear? So now this you cancel. What did they give? They given 10 meters. So this is the height. This height is 10 meters. Next, time of flight. T is equal to, what is the formula? 2u sin theta by g. 2u sin theta by g. So 2 into 28 into sin 30 by 9.8. This is equal to 2 into 28 into sin 30. 1 by 2. 9.8 into 2. Clear? Okay. Now 2 ones 14. This we can write as 2 into 140 by 98. Clear? Then calculate how these 14 sevens. 14 7 98. Am I correct? So 14 tens 14 sevens. So 20 by 7. 20 by 7, it is around 2.9 seconds. Clear? Here also you follow the same, you will get the answer. Okay? Yes, the same calculation. Sevens, 10, 1, 2, cancel, 10 you will get. Next question is what range? R. What is R formula? U square sin 2 theta by g. U square sin 2 theta by g. Again, 28 into 28 into sin 2 theta. Theta is 30 degree. So 2 into 30 sin 60 by 9.8. This is equal to 28 into 28 sin 60 root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 9.8 into 2. Clear? This we will write like this, 28, or we cancel here 2 ones 14, or this we will write 28 into 140 into root 3 by 98. Same, 14 tens, 14 7, 7 ones, 7 fours, 40 root 3. Okay, 40 root 3, the value is nearly equal to, it is 69. This is equal to 69 meters. So this is the R value. Then this R is equal to, what is that? 69 meters. So this is the procedure. How do we solve? First we will write given information. Then we concentrate the questions they asked, and one by one we follow. So make a note of this. Now come to example problem 4.8. So why I taken 4.9? Because it's related to this formula, so that's what. Now we will see 4.8. A hiker stands on the edge of cliff 490 meters above the ground and throws a stone horizontally with an initial speed of 15 meters per second. Neglect the air resistance. Find the time taken by the stone to reach the ground and the speed with which it hits the ground. Take G, asking us to take 9.8. So first we need to understand the question. From where the ball was projected? It was projected from the 490 meter height cliff. Okay. So 4.8. Cliff means it is actually sharp edge, that I am not drawing here. Just I am drawing only height. Okay. This is to consider. What is the height? This 490 meters. Okay, from this, the stone is thrown horizontal, means from here a person stands here. Here he throws the stone like this, in this direction. With velocity u is equal to 15 meter per second. Okay? U is equal to 15 meter per second. Then how it falls? It will not follow, it will not do like straight. Am I correct? Some distance it follows straight like this and then follows like this. Clear? Understand? This is the question. This is the given data. From 498 meters above the ground, he throws the stone horizontally with an initial speed 15 meters per second. Neglect the air resistance. Find the time taken by the stone to reach the ground. First they are asking time taken by the ground to reach the ground, and then next with what speed it's going to hit the ground. So it will hitting with the ground like this. So here this velocity we are taking v. This they asked. So this is also one kind of two-dimensional motion. I explained these equations. Already we have seen the motion of the object in this path, right? For this kind of path, this kind of motion, these equations are valid. Here it is theta, here it is u. Okay, these are all valid. But here how do we do? Clear? Don't apply these equations to here because there theta is the angle with the horizontal. But what is here? There is no angle here. So here horizontal angle, the angle with the horizontal axis is 0. If you substitute that 0 here, all equations will get 0. Then how do we solve? This we solve using the two directions concept. Clear? How do we take two direction concept? So this is projected along x-axis horizontally. So ux, instead of u, take ux 15 meter per second. What about uy, initial velocity along y direction is 0, right? Now what is the horizontal acceleration ax is 0. There is no force act along the horizontal, so acceleration is 0. What is ay along y direction? They are already asking us to take g 9.8 meter per second square. Because of this acceleration due to gravity only, object falls down. What does it mean? There is an acceleration which acts along vertical direction towards center of the earth, towards down. Understand? But not horizontal. If horizontal is axis, what will happen? Object will not come down, it follow straight path. Clear? But all objects will fall down. What does that mean? Acceleration due to gravity acting downwards. This ay is equal to, take g, this is 9.8 meter per second square. These equations we are going to use now to find t and v. Okay? Understand? So to find the t, and one more thing, it is already there. Height. What is the height along y direction? Y is equal to 490 meter. Only 490 meters. Clear? Now we have it down. So which equation is suitable to find t and v? Clear? So right. We have the 6 equations. So x is equal to uxt plus half ax t square. If you select this equation, suppose assume we selected this equation. Do we have the parameters to substitute in this? Do we have values to substitute in the equation? We need to check. Ux is there, but t is not there. Right? T is we need to find, but x distance not given. So this x is unknown, t is unknown. This is not helps. Understand? So this is not helps. Select y is equal to u by t Am I correct? Along y direction. Now check y given, uy 0, ay is given. This is suitable. Understand? Sir, why did you use this equation? Why don't you use this equation? Vx is equal to ux plus ax t square. To find this ax t only. Clear? Ux is there, ax 0. You don't get time term, so this is not useful. Already they asked final velocity v. For that we can use these equations. They asked direct velocity v, so that we can calculate. So this equation is not suitable to find the thing. We have one more equation. What is that? Vx square minus ux square is equal to 2ax x. In this equation there is no time term, nothing useless if we select this equation. Understand? So only the helpful equations are these two. But first equation, to substitute the values in the first equation, x is unknown, so this is not useful. And this is useful because information is there, values are there to substitute in this equation. Now substitute. What is y? 490 is equal to initial velocity in y direction 0, 0 into something 0 plus half. Ay is what? G. This is nothing but 9.8 into t square. So 490 is equal to 2 ones 4.9. 4.9 t square. Now t square is equal to 490 by 4.9. This we will write 490. Another 0 comes here, and this is 49. 49 ones, 49 hundreds. So t square is equal to 100. T is equal to 10 seconds. Clear? Now how many seconds it takes to reach the ground? 10 seconds. So t we got. T how many seconds? 10 seconds. Next we need to find v, final velocity. See, object is hitting the ground in this way. Clear? So it is not, see, here I am explaining, this is the ground level. Object is coming and it is not hitting directly vertically like this. Am I correct? It is not coming and hitting like this. If it hits, what happened? It has only velocity along y direction. Understand? Horizontally thrown body will not hit it will not fall like this. Okay? And this is not hitting vertically exactly. It is hitting with like this. What does it mean? It has two velocities. This is, if you draw the tangent, this is the final velocity, and it has one component along x direction, one component along y direction. So we need to find Vx and Vy. Vy is acts exactly downwards. Understand? How many components are there? Two components. Because it is not hitting along exactly vertical. So we need to find Vx and Vy. Then how do we find Vx and Vy? We have equations. Already I given there. What is Vx? Vx is equal to ux plus axt. Next one is substitute first Vx. Vx is equal to ux along x direction is what? 15 meters plus what is ax value? 0. 0 into something 0. So Vx is equal to 15 meter per second. See, final along the horizontal, whatever the initial velocity is there, same there along x axis, initial and final. Reason is no acceleration along x direction. If no acceleration, there is no change in velocity. Next Vy. Vy is equal to what? Uy plus Ayt. Then Vy is equal to Uy initial velocity along y direction is 0. Ay along means acceleration along the y direction is 9.8. Okay, into 9.8 into what is the time? 10 seconds. So Vy is equal to 98 meter per second. Clear? So if you write this in vector form, final velocity V is equal to Vx I cap plus Vy j cap. Actually Vy acting downwards, this we will get minus. So now V is equal to Vx is what? 15 I cap minus 98 j cap. But they did not ask this vector form, they asked the magnitude. So V is equal to under root of Vx square plus Vy square. And this is under root of 15 square plus 98 square. Simplify, you will get the answer. We will check. Yeah, 15 square plus 98 square. Clear? Understand? So if you do this, you will get this is 98 meter per second. Okay? Make a note of this. Okay? In your textbook solution, they taken negative, g taken negative and height taken negative. Reason, displacement along y direction, it is downwards. Finally it is reaching ground. This is initial point, this is final point. Understand? So it is coming down. So downward vectors they taken negative. So displacement is negative and acceleration also acting down negative. So that's why they taken in your textbook displacement negative and acceleration negative. If you take, what will happen? This is minus and this is minus. Minus minus will cancel. So to avoid that confusion, I taken directly. Okay, don't worry. If you read the textbook, there is no confusion in that. They given very clearly. Here also said. Here it is. Where we will get minus. Here we will get minus. Here you will get minus 98. Reason is that is acting downwards. That's all. Minus in the physics indicates it's opposite direction. That's all. One is plus, another one is minus, means directions only. Minus indicates only direction in this lesson. Okay. Now we will see next concept, uniform circular motion. Okay, now we will see uniform circular motion. Another kind of motion. Two-dimensional. Okay. First one is projectile motion. Second one is circular motion. This is also very important. This video expect for 5 marks. Okay. Circular motion or uniform circular motion, both are same. Okay, circular motion means object moves around fixed point in a circular path with a constant speed. Okay, object moves around a fixed point with a constant speed in a circular path. That we call as a uniform circular motion. Okay, how it looks? You experience this tying the ball, take the string. You already played with this ties, this kind of ties. Okay, one side you will find a ball with an elastic thread, and you will that in a horizontal and vertical, right? Same. That is one. If an object tied to a thread one end and with another end holding the other end and moving in a rotating. So you might have seen, if you stop immediately, then what will happen? That rope will come to your, that will winding on your finger and come closer to your hand, right? So same, but here what happens? Object keep on going in a circular motion. There is no other. We do not stop that. Keep on going in a circular motion. In circular motion we have two types. One is rotating a horizontal plane, other one rotating in a vertical plane. So now we are discussing here horizontal plane. But figure I will draw in the plane, so it comes like a vertical. Don't consider that is okay. This is only horizontal, but in the board idea, it is not possible to make it a horizontal. Clear? So the object revolving in a like this one. Okay. Moving in a circular path with a constant speed. Constant speed, why dimension, constant speed. Reason, magnitude is not changes, but direction changes. Let us say this is the center. Clear? Okay, the radius of the circular path, this is r. Clear? Now this is keep on moving clockwise or anti-clockwise, that's depend on our wish. So anyway, in this case it is moving like this. Now it is moving. So at time t1, the position of the object is at a certain time, let us say t1. Clear? Now the position vector, this is the position vector of the object from the center. I am taking as r1. So this is position vector. So for this path, already we mentioned, how do we find the velocity? We will find velocity direction. We will find velocity. If you draw a tangent, this shows the velocity of the object at this point. This is v1. This is what? v1. Okay, after some time the object is here, because it is keep on moving on circular path. So, and the new position of the object from the origin, this is r2 vector. Then if you draw a tangent here, again we will get the direction and of the velocity. This is v2. See, when I take the point here, the direction of velocity is this one. Here, this one. As the object is moving on a circular path, direction of velocity keep on changes. That's why instead of saying velocity, I mentioned constant speed. Instead of constant velocity, I mentioned constant. Instead of constant velocity, I mentioned constant speed. Reason, direction keep on changes, but magnitude is not changes. That's why. Okay, object move around the fixed point in a circular path with constant speed. So that motion is uniform circular motion. Clear? So this is the first position vector. This is a t1. After some time, object is here. We specify the position vector. We have seen the direction of velocity. Tail, head, and find the displacement. This is the displacement vector. Am I correct? Changing position. So make it. This is tail, head. You consider this is, let us say, x. Same situation I am drawing here. This is r1. This is r2. This is r1. This is like this. X. Follow our triangular vectors or graphical method, addition of the vector. Let us say this is A, this is B, this is C. How do we write there? C is equal to, we written A plus B. Then here how do we write C? What is C here? R2. What is A? R1. What is B? X. Then X is equal to what? R2 minus R1. This how do we write? Delta R. So this displacement vector, how do we write? This we will write as delta R. So the change in position. Change in position, the vector is displacement vector. Okay. Now at the center, this is the first position vector and this is the second one. What is this? This vector rotated. So this angular displacement we will take it as theta. Angle between two position vectors, delta theta. Clear? Now in this concept we are going to find the centripetal acceleration. Already you have studied in your SSLC. When object is in a circular motion, it experiences centripetal force. That centripetal force you have seen F is equal to mv square by r and A is equal to v square by r. Centripetal acceleration. This you have seen directly. Understand? Reason. Now we will see the proof of this. Acceleration proof. A is equal to v square by r. Actually your teachers taught F is equal to ma. A is centripetal acceleration, v square by r. So that they written F is equal to mv square by r. This was studied. Now we are going to see the proof for v square by r. How it is v square by r now? Now already we have seen what is that sliding the vector does not affect in magnitudinal direction. So that I am drawing here. This is what velocity vector. I am drawing parallel like this. Velocity vector. Parallel, not parallel exactly. Now it is parallel. Am I correct? It is parallel. This is V1. Clear? Next, this one. This is V2. Tail, head and closing side. Clear? This is delta V. This is change in velocity vector. Understand? Change in velocity vector. So the change in velocity vector, if this shows direction, if you draw that, where it is acting, delta V, change in velocity acting towards center. Okay? So we are slide the vectors parallelly, then this angle also will be delta theta. Clear? See here, position vector, velocity vector. Position vector, velocity vector always perpendicular. And changing displacement vector and changing velocity vector again perpendicular. Clear? So to find that, see, this will be the convention. We are using only R. So this is O. This is P. Let us say this is P1. This is P2. And here, what do you take? This is let us say A, B. See, just I am giving the rotations for that. Okay. Center O, point P1, point P2. This is A, B, C. Now, what do we find? Change in velocity with change in time. So then how do we write average acceleration? Average acceleration. Average acceleration. Change in velocity by change in time. Change in velocity by change in time. Then instantaneous acceleration will become, how do we write? A is equal to, or we will write that, we will keep as is. After that we will make a, we will write and we will find the instantaneous acceleration. First we follow the average velocity. Okay, now from these two, see these two are similar triangles. Clear? Then how do we write similar triangles? Delta R by R is equal to delta V by V. So don't confuse here. Let us say you take R1, here it is V1. Base by side, side by base. Clear? So if magnitudes, their position vector magnitudes are same, this we will write R, and V1 is equal to V2. Constant speed I mentioned, so this will be V. Then how do we write this? Delta R by R is equal to delta V by V. Okay? Clear? Understand? So what do we need? Delta V we require. So delta V, how do we write? V into delta R by R. Clear? You follow? Here we follow the triangle formula. Then we got delta V. And this delta V substitute here. A average acceleration is equal to, what is that? Then this week we will write 1 by delta T into delta V, and this will be, delta V is what? V delta R by delta T into R. Am I correct? Clear? Understand? Okay? Written. So here this not required vectors, just to take it. Now this is V. Clear? Now this is V. Now this is average acceleration. We need instantaneous acceleration. Then A is equal to limit delta T approaches to 0. Then V delta R by R into delta T. Okay, this right outside, then V by R limit delta T tends to 0, delta R by delta T. Actually delta T is the time. Okay, this is not a vector, no need to write this modulus for denominator. Clear? So now this how did we write? V by R is equal to limit delta T approaches to 0, delta R by delta T will become dr by dt. And this is, what is this? Rate of change of position. Rate of change of position is what? Is a velocity. dr by dt is what? dr by dt is velocity. So already velocity is the velocity into velocity square. Then A is equal to v square by r. A is equal to v square by r. Understand? So this is the formula for acceleration. Then this acceleration acts towards where? This is in the direction of change in velocity. This acceleration acts toward in the direction of change in velocity. What is the direction of change in velocity? Towards center. So this acceleration acting towards center. That's why this acceleration we call it as a centripetal acceleration. Centripetal means center seeking. So this acceleration is seeking center. So this is acting towards center. How did we say acting towards center? Change in velocity acting towards center. Change in velocity we call it as a acceleration. Change in velocity direction is equal to acceleration direction. So that's why this acceleration is centripetal acceleration acting towards center. So this is sometimes we call, right, AC is equal to v square by r. Okay, clear? So make a note on this. Don't worry about this. You will come to know once good in mathematics. This equation is very easy. How did I write this? Clear? Similar triangles, base by base, base by side is equal to base by side, or side by base is equal to side by base. That's your interest, and we do expect this for 5 marks. There is the centripetal acceleration when the body is in a uniform circular motion. Make a note of this. And now we will see different form of centripetal acceleration. There you see, as position changes, this is the path traveled by the object. This you take it as delta S. Clear? Radius is what? Generally you take it, already I take a magnitude of same. So radius is simply you take it as R. Okay. Next, what is the angular displacement? Angle change. Okay, that is delta theta. In how many times? Time is t2 to t1 to t2. So change in time is delta t. This we will write t2 minus t1. Okay. Then we have the change in our angular displacement by time. We call it as angular velocity. That is omega. Omega is delta t by delta theta by delta t. Clear? This is omega, not w. This we call it as omega. Clear? This is first point. Equation 1. You take it simply. And delta S, the change in our path followed. So that how do we write according to mathematics? Delta S is equal to R into delta theta. According to radian definition, this you have seen L is equal to R theta in trigonometry, mathematics definition. Clear? So delta S is equal to R delta theta. This we will write, this delta S is changed in what? In a delta t time. So this I can write delta S by delta t is equal to R into delta theta by delta t. Any problem? Delta S covered in delta t. R divide above equation with delta t. So rate of change in position or path is called speed. This is v. Here speed we denoted with v only. So v is equal to R into what is delta theta by delta t? Angular velocity omega. So this is very important relation. This is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. So keep this point in your mind. What is this relation between linear velocity and angular velocity? When the body is in a circular motion, not all the cases. Understand? R is the radius. Okay. Now, what is the centripetal acceleration equation? AC is equal to v square by r. What did we get this v r omega? So another form of centripetal acceleration is A is equal to r square omega square by r. 1 r cancel. AC is equal to r omega square. Okay. Omega is called angular velocity. Understand? So our angular acceleration, v is equal to r omega, we got the relation that we substituted, then we got r is equal to omega square. Understand? And we have one more formula is there. Omega we can write 2 pi by t. Means omega is angular velocity. Suppose to complete this one term, if it is take time t, in a one complete rotation, how many radians it completes? 2 pi radians. Clear? What it by rate? Angle by time. Angle by time is omega. Now for one term, for one complete rotation I am talking. For one complete rotation, how many radians it completes? 2 pi. If we take time capital T. So omega we can write 2 pi by t. And omega is equal to 2 pi into 1 by t. So 1 by t, how do we write? Frequency nu. This is not v, this is nu. Clear? Then omega, how do we write? AC is equal to r into 2 pi nu whole square, and this will be AC equal to 4 pi square mu square r. This is another formula. Why I am giving these are all? Based on the question, we need to select the formula. Clear? In circular motion, we use to explain this, we use RPM. RPM means rotation per minute. RPM means what? Rotation per minute. So this always they will give in the question. Question will be in question we do expect this word rotation per minute. This we need to convert into radian per second because angle we measured in radians. Okay, one rotation, 1 RPM is equal to one rotation. How many radians? 2 pi radians by rotation, one rotation 2 pi per by minute 60 seconds means 2 pi by 60 radian per second. Remember this one rotation per minute is equal to 2 pi by 60 radian per second. Here one rotation. If they give 1 RPM means 2 pi by 60. If they given 2 RPM, 2 pi by 60. If they give 3 RPM, 3 pi by 60. It's depend on the number of rotations. But number of rotations, how do we convert into radian per second? By multiplying 2 pi by 60. Keep this point in your mind. This is very important. Without converting, it's not problem. It is a problem to solve the question. Okay. Now general conversion is, suppose n RPM is there. Then how do we convert n into 2 pi by 60? Remember this easy conversion. Radian per second. Radian per second. The angle we measure in radians. Okay, not in degrees. It is in radians. So n is any number. Clear? Now we'll see one problem on this circular motion. Okay. Now, question is 10th question. An insect trapped in a circular groove of a radius 12 centimeter moves along the groove steadily on a complete 7 revolutions in 100 seconds. What is the angular speed and the linear speed of the motion? If the acceleration vector is a constant vector, what is its magnitude? Clear? Now insect trapped in a groove, circular groove. It's like a circular ring. Okay. So same circular. In this, an insect is that is moves along the groove steadily, completes 7 revolutions. What is the radius of this circular groove? R is equal to 12 centimeter. Clear? Now it completes 7 revolutions in 100 seconds. How many rotations done? 7 rotations. Number of rotations 7 in 100 seconds. How do we write this angular velocity? It means omega is equal to 7 into 2 pi by 100. They mention 100. If they mention 7 RPM means our formula n into 2 pi by 60 is valid. But they mention 100 seconds. So this we can write 14 pi by 100 radian per second. Next, find the angular speed and the linear speed of the motion. Angular speed omega they asked, and they asked linear speed asked. Next, is the acceleration vector constant and what is its magnitude? AC, A also asked. Here A means centripetal acceleration. Already omega We have done, we converted, so then omega is equal to 14. This pi, sometimes based on the calculation, we use 3.14 or 22 by 7. Here I am selecting 22 by 7 because it is easy to calculate. Calculation, it will be cancelled, 7 ones, 7 twos. So this is 44 by 100 radian per second, or this we can write 0.4420 radian per second. Let me check the answer. So it is 0.44 radian per second. Next, what did they ask? Linear velocity. What is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity? V is equal to r omega. What is r here? 12. Okay? 12 into, if they ask in centimeters, then directly multiply with that. 12 into, what is that? 0.44. Then do this calculation. What do we get? This is 5.3 centimeter per second. Next, what did they ask? Acceleration. A is equal to v square by r. Already v we have this one. R, we can select r omega square. That's your interest. Whatever that's your interest. Clear. If you follow this r omega square, what is r? 12 into 0.44 into 0.44. Then you will get the answer. That answer is 2.3 centimeter per second square. So in this problem, they given answers in centimeter per second square. Actually, we need to do in meter per second. So if you read the textbook, then my solution and textbook answer will change. That's what I given textbook solution only. I mean without changing the units. Is very important question is there. Is the acceleration vector constant? No, because this acceleration acts towards this center at this point. But from if the object is comes here, vector direction changing. So direction keep on changing. So acceleration vector is not a constant vector, but magnitude remains same. Remember, in a circular motion, very important points are velocity direction continuously changes, but magnitude remains same. Acceleration direction also always acts towards center. Here, but it is not a constant vector. Magnitude remains same, right? And in the next class, we will solve remaining example problems and exercises. After exercises, we will go for competitive. Okay? Understand? Right? Make a note on this.